Hi everyone, my name is Jenny and I am a student staff at the Gerstein Science and Information Center. And this is my colleague Mike. Mike is the manager of the Mobile Application Development Lab located at Gerstein, which is a partnership between the libraries and the U of T Information Technology Services. Our colleague Carey is also here with us today, and all of us are very happy to be here today to talk about our remote 3D printing project/service at Gerstein Library. So this is our agenda today. We will cover an introduction to the service, including a bit about the history and the background. We will present the workflow of the service and the service components. We will share our reflection, and in the end, we will do a live demo. So now let's get started. And Mike, would you like to introduce our service?
Okay, thanks, Jenny. To give you some history, way back in 2014 at Gerstein and Mad Lab, we launched a brand new 3D printing and training service at Gerstein Library. We made 2 MakerBot Replicator 2 printers available for students and faculty to book for academic and personal projects. The service was designed to allow the students to print, to completely control the 3D printing process. They could book a block of time to print one or multiple projects, and they were entirely responsible for the outcome of their project. Two staff members, including myself, would be regularly available during those bookings to provide support. We designed a 50-minute training session to support this service. It was delivered on a regular bi-weekly schedule throughout the year with support from a Gerstein librarian and student library assistant. Students were required to take the in-person training before using the printers. A major focus of the in-person training was really a safe operation of the printer. Between 2014 and 2020, we have trained over 2,000 students on our 3D printers for our in-person 3D printing facility. Our training sessions were quite popular, even just for students who wanted to learn the basics of 3D printing out of curiosity. And then following training, students would prepare their print jobs with the MakerBot print software, usually at home in advance, and then print on our MakerBot Replicator 2 printers in our facility. So campus lockdowns forced us to cancel in-person workshops and services. The entire library was closed to students for periods of time, and construction projects within the building extended the time that the lab was not accessible. The way our service was delivered, we found that staff presence and support during the printer bookings was usually needed to keep things kind of running smoothly, even though the students were responsible ultimately for their own print jobs. So this meant it was difficult to move the service to open areas of the building since we would like to have staff nearby during those bookings. So next slide. Thanks. During this time, especially in the early pandemic, I was able to take on print jobs on behalf of certain clients for urgent or academic projects, like printing PPE or other supplies for research. Sometimes I would be printing from home, since I was to take a printer home with me. This was almost like a rehearsal for offering a full remote service. I was able to learn about the workload and challenges of printing objects to our clients' expectations. So our goals for the new service were to address the problem of availability. We took the opportunity to also deepen and extend our training at the same time. It was important in taking on more responsibility for the actual printed output to promote an understanding of how 3D printing works and what designs are likely to be successfully printed. Also, the original home for our online information, training, and support materials was a LibGuide. We wanted to move training and support materials to a learning management system instead, and allow the LibGuide to be more of a resource describing 3D printing services in general at U of T.
Thank you, Mike. So as stated in the goal, our remote service allows the users to learn about 3D printing, to design and submit a print job from anywhere. And this is a workflow chart that describes the steps that the user needs to take to access and use our service. The first step they need to take is to complete an online training module and pass all the quiz in order to be certified. Once they're certified, they can work on either downloading a model or designing a model that they wish to print. Once they have the model, they import it to the MakerBot print software to prepare it for printing. And they can customize the print with different options, such as adjust the infill and add a support or a raft to their model. They can also see a print preview in that software that includes an estimated print time. And when they're ready to submit, they simply fill out a form and upload their model to the MakerBot Cloud Print system. We will receive the request and process their printing in the lab. And once their print job is done, we will send out a notification email so that they know that they can come to the library in person to pay and pick up their print jobs. So in this presentation, we will focus on two of the key service components, including the online learning module and the MakerBot Cloud Print platform, which we will demo at the end of our presentation. So what's included in our online learning module or training module? So here is the breakdown of the structure. Module 1 introduces the 3D printers, including what we have at the lab for the remote service and in general, how do the 3D printers work. And Module 2 talks about the 3D printing workflow, including the design principles, process, and the softwares that the user need to know to be able to design and submit a print job. And the third module, which is the last module, introduces the service policy, including who is eligible for this service and what's the cost and how to submit or pick up a print job. So as the hands-on learning component of the in-person safety training is lost in our remote service, we decided to incorporate interactive learning elements, visuals, and videos in our online modules. We also took this as an opportunity to expand and to include more educational content than what we could have provided in the 15-minute safety training. So, we created our online learning module on the platform called Articulate, which is a web-based tool for crafting e-learning experiences. And with this tool, we were able to make interactive learning elements, such as for allowing the users to click around on an image of a printer and learn what each parts are. So the modules are containing a number of different lessons, and at the end of each lesson, there is a knowledge checkpoint that summarizes key takeaways that will help the user to do a mini review before they move on to the next lesson. And at the end of each module, there will be a quiz, a multiple choice quiz that will help the users to review what they learned in the whole module, and then that will also make sure that they are ready to use our service. The quiz is not timed. The user can attempt unlimited times until they get 100% in order to move on. So we incorporated the module into the Canvas, which is the learning management system we use at U of T. Canvas supports SCORM, so that lets us to directly incorporate the Articulate modules into our online learning management system. And this helps us to take care of the authentication and keep track of individual users' progress. We can also use this platform to reach out to all of the service users regarding updates, make announcements, and share the resources. So far, since we launched our service in January 2022, we have got 155 users signed up for the online training, 73 got certified, and 49 print jobs are done. We are very happy with this as a good start, and we are working on to promote this service more in the fall semester. And as a reflection, we summarized the challenges and the advantage of a remote service. The first challenge is definitely because the service really required a cross-department effort. For example, we gained a lot of support from the circulation desk staff to manage our project, the print job pickup process. And we also, like our colleague from the information technology services, they really helped us to install the MakerBot software on all of the student and staff workstations in our library, which was a great help. The second challenge would be since this is a remote service, the human labor element of the service became very less visible to our users. For example, it's really hard for us to provide estimated turnaround time, as some of the user might be expecting. And also, as a remote service, it could not provide a real hands-on experience for our users. So that means they could not really see the object is printing, or they cannot access the polishing tool at the lab to polish their finished object. Well, on the other side, the remote service is more equitable, that all of the students from all 3 campuses of U of T, they can access the service and the online training modules easily. The online training module is also more transferable for sharing, for updating, and it's definitely easier for our users to review whenever they want to, compared to in the old format of in-person safety training. Overall, our remote service is just more convenient for our users, because they don't have to take the time to come in the lab to take the in-person training, and then they don't have to sit there in the lab waiting for the whole time while their object is printing. So yeah, so that's a reflection of the challenge and the advantage of our remote service. And now we will move on to a lab demo. And can we have our video played, please?
Oh, it's playing. Okay, sorry, it wasn't playing in the confidence mode. Okay.
Oh.
So what we see here is the MakerBot print software. This is what students might use at home or on a library computer to prepare their print job. So the app lets them define every aspect of the print job, including the quality settings. The print preview screen shows an estimated printing time as well. That's very important because it lets students estimate the cost for their print job. And then before exporting their print job, we also ask them to take a screenshot of the final design, and that will help me understand what they expect to print. So here they're exporting the print file. So the print file is kind of like a package that really has all the instructions that are needed to actually prepare and print the object. So next we have a form for their print submission. There's a series of questions at the front. It sort of reiterates our kind of general and important recommendations we make in our training. We think of it as like a pre-flight checklist. So they go through that. Hopefully they answer yes to all the questions, although we can accommodate changes to that as well. And then they can choose what color they would like. We can change the colors on the form as we decide to add different colors to our system. And then they can upload their screenshot. So one unfortunate thing is that Microsoft Forms doesn't let you upload arbitrary files of different data types, so we can't submit the print job directly through Microsoft Forms. But luckily, we got this MakerBot Cloud Print service included with our purchase of the MakerBot printers. And this gives the students a guest link that they can use to upload their file into MakerBot Cloud, which is what I use to manage the print queue. And I cut out the "I'm not a robot" stuff because I kept failing it. So, once it's been submitted, the student will wait until they get an email from me. The email will have an invoice for them. They go to the library front desk and they pick up their print job and pay for it there. So finally, you're going to see my perspective as the manager of the print queue. And this will show incoming print jobs. I can review them. I can see some details about the print job, and I can approve the print job and add it to the queue. So this would be a chance for me to just check for any potential issues, maybe reach out to the user. I'll know to expect incoming print jobs because I'll receive a notification from Microsoft Forms that it's been that somebody has submitted something. And then I can also use this to kind of monitor actual print jobs and directly send the print job to the printer online through the cloud. So this really helps. I find this really useful because it just, for me, as the person managing this and doing all sorts of other tasks in my day-to-day job, that I can sort of keep an eye on things, and I don't have to deal with files all the time and copying files between different devices. It just is a click of the button. I can start a print job. So that concludes the demo, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jenny and Mike. We'll give folks a chance to put some questions into Slido, but so don't go too far in case people have questions for you. Again, at Slido. But yeah, well, oh, here we go. Oh, yes. Sorry. The first question starts with a URL, so I was a little confused about whether I was supposed to read the URL out loud. I'm not going to read the URL out loud. But since you're here, you can see, is that what your Ditto cursor can
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. You can also adjust the size of your cursor. So I accidentally made it really big and it became really cute, so I just kept it that way.
Was that the cute little animated?
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, yes, fabulous. Customcursor.com for that cute little cursor. And the next question, would you ever go back to the full in-person service after this experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to go back to it. And I think of this as an alternative. One of the things that students would say would be like, I can't come during the week. I just have too many classes. So this is a way to help them out. But I just miss being able to talk to the students about their projects all the time. And it was a way to kind of respond to their needs as well, just to be able to see what they're doing. And I think we're going to continue that. We're starting the sign-ups for our first back to campus kind of workshop for that. And it's already people are kind of lining up, right? So yeah, it's exciting. Yeah.
So it's sort of a both and situation?
Hopefully we can maintain that level of service for sure.
Fantastic. Do you make a profit from the printing costs, or does it just recover the material costs?
I don't have a full accounting, but it's designed to cover the material costs. That's our goal. And there's also repair costs and other kinds of consumables that go with it, apart from just the plastic.
We also are probably going to need to upgrade the old replicators pretty soon because they're getting creaky and the software isn't, you can't upload it to a new machine. It doesn't support on new iOS. So.
Right. So Carey's chiming in that that they'll also have to upgrade the hardware, the replicators, because they're getting creaky. As we all know, maintenance is is a big thing.
Curiously, just to add to that, it's not the hardware, it's a physical thing we're doing, but it's the software that's going out of date and being discontinued and stops working and stuff. So,
right.
Yeah.
Creaky in the software sense, not creaky in the actual, like...
Well, kind of both, but yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And another question, were commercial 3D printing companies considered as an alternative to doing the prints in-house?
I'll take this one. No.
Oh, Carey, I don't know if
Can I come up to the
here you
microphone?
can. Yeah, why don't you
sorry.
just
There.
Hi.
Your mic.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. No, we think that 3D printing is like a learning opportunity for students, and so this was one of the challenges with this service is how do we ensure that students can still get their hands on it and learn about design and do it themselves the same way that we don't do people's research for them in the library. We expect them to learn how to do research themselves. It's the same approach.